Do you love French manicures, but you're tired of the boring white tip and neutral nail? Well, I got you today. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer, and we are updating the typical French mani that you see. We're going to do a beautiful green for the base of our French color, and then to create the actual French part of the manicure, instead of just doing a simple white line or a color, I'm going to use the Maniology Frenchy Spring Bundle. It's these adorable little spring type French nails where there's all these different flowers and options. I was super excited. It's been a while since I've done a stamp with all dip liquids. I wanted to make sure that I did one for all my friends out there, all my nail friends who can't use gels. Typically when I stamp, I like to use gels just because I'm so used to it. But I also use Maniology Sticky Base and Smudge Free Top Coat when I don't want to use gels. I know there's a lot of people out there who either don't like to use gels or can't use gels. So I want to show you how easy it is to use the sticky base and smudge free top coat to do your stamping with. Very first thing that I'm going to do is get this beautiful green on all of my nails, and it's called Shake Your Pom Poms from OG Dip Powder. It's part of a Mermaid collection, Mermaid Part 2 collection coming out. And it's this stunning shimmery summery green, and I felt like it was just great for like jumping into spring type colors. I am so over winter. I'm tired of being cold. And if my voice still sounds funny, it's because I'm getting over being sick. I actually had strep throat and a sinus infection. So thank goodness for antibiotics because I'm finally feeling better. I've been sick for about a week and a half. So that is why I missed my last video. And I was so excited to start doing my nails again. This is going to be the only video you see with my nails in this shape. So the reason I cut them down was I first broke a nail after I tried to do my builder gel really fast the one day, and I smashed my nail like against the wall or the door. I don't even remember anymore. And then I ended up cutting these down. Well, not cutting them down, but I ended up shaping them into like teeny tiny baby almonds because I smashed my finger in a drawer in the kitchen. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just super clumsy with everything. So this is the only mani that you'll see with my short square nails, which was sad because I absolutely love this shape. Whenever you're dipping short nails, you really want to be careful about how much liquid you put onto your brush. It's easy for short nails to look really thick, and that's definitely not something that we want. If you wipe off a majority of the liquid from your brush on the inside of the bottle, you're going to not apply so much onto your nail. And what also helps is starting away from your cuticle. So you start with the brush away from your cuticle and push it back towards your cuticle. Now, since I've been dipping for so long, it's easier for me to figure out how much liquid I use on my nails versus somebody who's starting out. And I had someone recently ask about how do you know how much liquid to use? Something that I like to do is I tend to go on the thinner side, that even if I don't get enough liquid on my first dip, I will add more liquid onto my next layers if I kind of miss spots on my first dip. Something else that really helps me to figure out how much liquid to use on my nails is when you look at it and you just have the liquid on your nails, or the dip liquid on your nails, does it look like it's starting to run or be really thick? Or does it look like a nice thin layer? And I know that's hard to tell for everybody, especially if you're just starting dipping, but you can see as I'm doing my nails, you really don't see a lot of liquid and it's not pooling in my cuticles. You can tell a big difference on your own nails. If you're getting pooling into your cuticles or your sidewalls of your nails, you're definitely using too much liquid. And after you dip your nail, after you pour the powder over, if it still looks super wet, then you know you're using too much. So once in a while, I will like lay my nail back into the powder after I've poured it over. And that's typically because maybe it looks like I didn't pick up all the spots on my nail. So I just quickly like set it down in the powder to make sure I pick up all the areas of my nails so that I don't have any uncovered spots. And if you're just starting and you're still struggling with that, it's better to use too little liquid and have to add a little bit more on your nail. So when you're dragging the brush down your nail, you should feel the liquid going onto your nail, but it shouldn't be overly thick. Like you should feel like you're having to really push the brush, not super hard, but you need to push it into your nail so you can feel where that liquid is going. And that's going to be how you're going to tell, am I using too much liquid or not enough? Like if you're using too much liquid, it's going to fly down your nail, all the excess liquid, and pool into your cuticles. So that's one way to really help you see, did I use enough liquid or too much? And every time that I dip with dip liquids, I always use clear dip powder over it, whether I'm using glitters, shimmers, solids, flakes, foils. I love doing a dip of clear dip powder after. Then you want to make sure after every single dip that you really brush off your nail well. That helps you from getting your nails too thick. I'll dip all 5 nails, then go back to my thumb because I always start with my thumb. And by the time I get done dipping my pinky, my thumb is ready to brush off. I want to leave a little bit of my filing and shaping. Some people have asked me how I file and shape. So I really very gently go around the sides to just, kind of fix up my shaping if any looks off. And then my key to getting really nice cuticle lines is using an extra fine barrel bit from Pana. I like to go around and I call it crisping up my cuticles. That just makes sure there's none stuck on the back of my cuticle, and my cuticle line in the back is a nice curve. Then I'll go through and I'll just gently buff the top and wipe off my nails so that I'm ready to top coat or do whatever's next. Now in this case, I'm doing the stamping. When you're using sticky base and a smudge-free top coat, you really want to make sure you buff nice and smooth because it is not as forgiving as using a dip top coat or gels. Gels are very forgiving if your nails are not perfectly smooth. So let's jump right into our stamping. I wanted to set everything out to decide what colors I wanted to use. The beautiful blue that I decided to use was called Awaken, and you can get it in the bundle or you can get it by itself. And I was trying to look at the stamping plate and decide which one was going to look best on my nails. And spoiler alert, I definitely used the wrong one. And I decided to keep it in at first to show you guys how you can fix your nail if you decide you don't like a stamp. So you apply a thin layer of sticky base. You want to make sure it covers your whole nail, but not go super thick or it'll take way too long to dry. And you swipe your polish on. You want to put enough polish that it covers the image, but not so much that it's drowning in it. And then you do a really quick swipe, one swipe quickly down and pressing pretty hard. Now, if for some reason it doesn't swipe hard enough, you can do 2 swipes, but I've really been trying now to only do 1, just pressing hard. So the first stamp that I did, it just did not look right. I forgot that my nails were square, so when I tried to do the curved French, it just didn't look right with my square shaped nail, and I went to one of the ones that has a square top. It ended up looking so much better. It's these really cute little flowers. There's actually ones on there with bunnies, which I definitely want to use for Easter if I remember. I'm hoping I remember. I would love to do that for an Easter mani. Now, some keys to doing stamping with sticky base. You want your sticky base to be sticky but not soaking wet. You just want it to be tacky. You don't want it to be so sticky that the polish is just coming right off when you touch it. When you gently touch it, it should just feel tacky, a little bit tacky, and that's how you know, okay, go, go, go. It is time to put your stamp on. And since I was only doing 1 layer of the stamp, I didn't have to rush and have everything totally ready. I could just quickly, get my polish on, swipe, and then apply the stamp. Whatever direction that you swipe the scraper in, you want to roll the stamper in the opposite direction. That is a huge key for picking up the image. These images picked up absolutely beautifully. I was super excited. Once in a while I'll have a trouble now, even still after stamping for now 2 years. I still have trouble picking up some images, but this plate, both of the ones that I tried, I had no problems picking up any of the little French images. So I will definitely be using this one again. And the pink liquid that you see on the sides of my nails, that is actually Pana liquid latex. I like to protect my skin so that I have less cleanup to do along my sides. I am a really messy stamper. I'm a really messy dipper. This one, for some reason, I wasn't as messy as I usually am, so you don't see it as much, but I just always try to remember to put on the Pana liquid latex. Now, when I get to my thumb, you'll see that the French does not fit onto my entire thumb. That's okay. It fits pretty darn close. If my nails were longer, it would have been no problem, just because they're so huge and wide at the base, which is where my stamping was going, they didn't quite fit. Make sure that you have acetone, cotton balls, and tweezers ready, because if you're using the same image over and over, you're going to have to wipe wipe it off in between each stamp, and you just have to take the tweezers with some acetone on a cotton ball and just quickly scrub it off and let that dry before you go stamp again. Then I like to finish up with my Maniology smudge-free top coat. Make sure that you don't do what I do. I kept touching it because I'm really impatient, and it's nail polish, so it's not going to dry as fast as a regular dip liquid top coat would. If you're still struggling with stamping, come check out this next video and we can learn more stamping. Thanks so much for joining me today, Nail Crew.